Hello, are you ready to take your first step on your journey towards an Olympic gold medal? I hope you are excited because today we are going to show you the biomechanical formula to accomplish this.
Two of the coolest things in life are being super strong and having an Olympic gold medal. Which one would you choose if given the choice?
Don't worry, why choose just one of these two things when you can choose both by becoming an Olympic weightlifter? Olympic weightlifting first entered the Olympics in 1896. Lifters are divided based on gender and weight class, and they get 3 attempts on each of the two main lifts. The lifter with the highest total weight lifted wins the gold.
The two main lifts of Olympic weightlifting are called the clean and jerk and the snatch, shown on the left and right respectively. The clean and jerk involves pulling the barbell from the floor using the hips to continue powering the bar upward, catching the barbell on the shoulders, absorbing the weight with a squat, and then jerking the bar overhead into a lockout position. The snatch is similar in the initial pull and hip power, but the grip is wider and the hip contact comes a little higher compared to a clean. And then finally, the barbell is snatched directly into the overhead position compared to first catching on the shoulders. Both lifts are a good full body exercise. The core, quads, hamstrings, glutes, and calves work the hardest, but the traps and shoulders work hard during the pull and jerk as well, even while arms and forearms and back get a moderate workout too. We will focus mostly on the clean and jerk in this video.
Biomechanics is the study of the structure, function, and motion of living organisms. The field of biomechanics ranges from small-scale things like organ movement to a broader focus on full body movement. In weightlifting, biomechanics can be implemented to develop lifting techniques that optimize force production while keeping the lifter safe. The top lifters focus on technique just as much as strength to perform their Olympic lifts.
The initial pull is important to make sure the rest of the lift happens properly. While the clean differs slightly from a normal deadlift in terms of how far one sits back to start, normal ideas of keeping the bar close to the body and having the hips and shoulders rise in unison are still important concepts. Hips rising quicker than shoulders can be an indicator of the back doing too much of the work compared to the legs.
We see here how the biomechanics concept of moment informs bar placement. The larger distance from the body with equal weights, seen as force in the moment equation, causes the hips to generate a larger moment to lift the weight. This means that the farther distance means the hips need to work harder and generate a higher moment to lift the same weight, and in some cases can result in injuries to the lower back given the way the spine and hips work together in the body.
Done with the pull, now it's on to the power. The real powerful portion of the clean comes from contact between the hip crease and barbell in explosive motion. This involves popping the hips and shrugging upward to get as much height on the bar as possible. Both these videos show a decent job of this. We will see why the first video is better due to biomechanics.
Here we see that this hip contact creates a ton of force on the bar, but biomechanics taught us that force is a vector in multiple dimensions. Given that hip contact will create similar force each time, we see that the first video resulted in a force with a larger Y component and smaller X component. Meanwhile, the second video resulted in a larger X component, making one catch the bar lower and probably in a worse position.
While creating all the upward power is fun, one must know what comes up must come down due to the force of gravity. This is where catching on the shoulders comes into play. It is important to use the concept of distributed load and understand that catching on the larger surface area of both shoulders makes it easier to withstand the force compared to all the force being distributed on the neck and collarbone area. In both cases, the hands should help with the load too, but do not put all the load on the hands or wrists because issues will occur. Stay safe with the weight on the shoulders.
Healthy knees are a key to a good squat and a successful lift. There are many cues for a good squat, such as bracing the core, pushing the knees outward, driving through the heels, and so on. One common method used by Olympic lifters is a bounce or rebound at the bottom of a squat, making it very explosive and powerful. However, one must realize the forces acting on the kneecaps from the muscles varies throughout the full range of motion, and must be sure to train their tendons and ligaments to be able to withstand the maximum forces applied in the rebound portion.
Lastly, the clean and jerk cannot be complete without the jerk. There are two techniques, the split jerk shown and the power jerk. Remember, you'll be tired by this point, so it'll be hard to fully jerk this bar overhead. The power jerk resembles a squat movement, but the split jerk tends to be easier due to less depth needed and a wider base. However, one must consider distributed load and foot placement to see how balanced one will be. Weight distributed only on the inside of the foot may cause one to miss the jerk due to a knee collapse and imbalance.
Now it's time for you to put all this into practice. Take this biomechanics knowledge into your training. Keep repping both the clean and jerk and snatch endlessly, using video to analyze the biomechanical and technical aspects of the lift. Do not let the ego fuel your lifts and end up like these fellows.
Instead, be like this guy and make your lift look like a thing of beauty. Thank you, and go get that gold using both a smart mind and strong body.